Johns Hopkins educational people have determined through a long study that there are 4 factors which dictate whether or not a child will be successful through middle school into high school and beyond, and whether or not they will indeed not be successful and drop out of high school.
Every week we look at those EWI data, and it's really gotten all the way down to where the teachers are looking at individual student data.
Next student on here that we're going to look at from last week, Jareem.
To compare from one week to the next week how the interventions are affecting the students' attendance, behavior, and class performance.
And like maybe having some sort of public recognition of his success, like I think he would really thrive off of that.
Whatever we need to do to modify instruction and enhance learning for our students, making sure that we accommodate every learning style and every learning need in the classroom, the data helps us to make those decisions.
With the talent development representative here, we come up with strategies to implement as far as offering instructional support to the teachers.
We've known fairly well at looking at data and who needs what. We've gotten better. I think it's gotten more sophisticated with the diplomas now and the early warning indicators. But being able to provide the supports to the students has been what I see as the greatest value, is being actually to meet their needs.
The presence of the Diplomas Now personnel and our EWI strategy, we can really target the behaviors that are preventing the students from succeeding. And having that sort of microscopic view of their day-to-day interactions is really helping me out manage the entire class.
Now, let's explore what the EWI meeting looks like when all of the pieces are implemented. Alright, so the next student we want to discuss is Adrian, and Adrian is actually flagged for 2 different indicators. The first one is for behavior, has four behavior referrals during the month of September, and also was suspended yesterday. The second indicator is currently getting an F in English Language Arts. So those are the 2 indicators of why we're discussing, and then I'll share the rest of the data profile as you can see on the board. So doing fine in attendance, no days absent so far this year, pretty good attendance last year. Behavior did not seem to be an issue last year, only 2 referrals for the full school year. In course performance, had an A at the end of last year in math, getting a high B so far this year, and was basic on the state assessment. In ELA, like I mentioned, getting an F at a 53% in ELA so far this year, and had a C at the end of last year and basic in ELA for the state assessment as well. So again, we'll start with updates for Adrian. Let's start with social studies again.
So Adrian, she is a stellar student in my class. I don't have any problems out of her. She has excellent behavior in my class, and she's really interested in geography, working with math, so that I guess she kind of found her niche in my class, but she's actually one of my better students.
How about ELA?
ELA is a problem. That's where she's failing so far, although she's attempting to complete the work, and her attendance really isn't bad. Her attendance isn't where her problems lie. She attempts the assignments but hands in incomplete work. She seems to be having difficulty with material. I've asked her to come back for coach class, but so far in the last 4 weeks she hasn't come back at all. I think there may be some things that I could work with her individually on that there really isn't time for in class, and she's not forthcoming. She won't come up to the desk with a problem, I think because there are other people in the room. But she also won't come after school, which I would think would be a good opportunity for her to look at her work and in a more honest way.
And math?
So in math, it's kind of interesting. She she's pretty smart in math, and that might be a little dilemma because I think she's trying to rely on her skills from middle school because she's not really paying much attention and she's kind of distracting in class. She gets it quickly and wants to finish her assignment quickly, but doesn't really want to engage in the lesson or the topics and the discussions we have. She just wants to wrap it up and move on. So, I made a phone call home about that and talked to the mom, and the mom said, yeah, she's pretty excited about different things in high school. She's just, there's just a different thing going on there. She's not as tuned to school as much, and she seems, at least from my discussion with her, mom's noticed a similar thing. So.
All right, other updates for Adrian?
I got a note from the vice principal yesterday that there was some issue at lunch, but I didn't have an opportunity to talk with her before whatever this was ended in the suspension. My hope is to catch her and the parent when they come in for this reentry conference after the suspension and see kind of what's going on.
Anything else?
No, I've just noticed that she's been struggling in the LA, and so I just know that I need to make a better effort to work with her assignments because it does seem apparent that she needs that extra attention for her assignments, and if she's not coming back for coach class, then at least I can help her out during class.
So I know we started talking about some of the interventions for Adrian, but wanted to move us forward to what we've been working on towards new interventions that we need to address for Adrian.
So Adrian works really well in my class, and I think one of the reasons why she works really well in my class is because she likes working with projects. So what I was thinking is that maybe we all could get together and come up with some type of an interdisciplinary project that she can be really involved with, because she likes doing a lot of research on the computer and she likes actually designing things so that there's an end product. So that might be a good idea. That might actually work for her.
Very good idea.
Are there other teachers okay with that or interested in that?
I think that would work well. She might finish quickly with the assignment we have. It might give her something to do for the rest of the period, and I'd like to try that. That would be a good thing to see.
And ELA?
I'm going to make more of an effort to see her individually. Just expecting her to come back to my class isn't working. I'll give Mom a call because the transition from middle school to high school seems to be a very difficult one for her. She wasn't the greatest student in middle school, but she's dropped 2 full grades since the end of last year. And it may just be the material, because she's evidently doing well in other classes, but there may be other things involved also. There may be some kids in her 9th grade English class that aren't in her math class or her history class so the issues may not be just not finishing the work, because she does try to do the work, her mind seems to be somewhere else.
So just back on the interdisciplinary project, does someone want to be a point person for that, or can someone be kind of a point person to pull all the teachers from our team together for that?
Yeah, sure. Since it was my idea, I'll do it.
Okay. So we can put you down for that, Mr. Rhodes. Okay, so we have a couple of things. Mr. Schwab is going to check in with Mom. Mr. Rhodes is kind of head up that interdisciplinary project among all of the teachers. Anything else that we need to do?
I'm going to process with the student when she comes back from suspension. I need to check with the vice principal to see when she's due back. I know that's typically like a 3-day suspension. So let me check and see when she's coming back, and I'll try to sit in on the readmit conference and then process with the student to kind of see what this conflict is with her and Sarah.
Okay, and Ms. Walker, after you do that, can you, or whatever you are able to share, can you share that back with us as our team,
Sure.
so we know what else we can do to support that?
Sure. And you said that are they in your class together? Sarah and Adrian?
No, Sarah isn't, but they go to lunch.
They have the same lunch period. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so just quickly to review, Mr. Rhodes is going to kind of take the lead on the interdisciplinary project and touch base with all the teachers as part of our team. Mr. Schwab is going to check in with Mom just to see if there's anything glaring that we need to be aware of. And Ms. Walker will check in with the AP during reinstatement and see what else we need to, kind of next steps there. When do we want to follow up on these items? Our next meeting, or are some of them okay to wait a little bit longer? What's our timeline?
I think we should wait a little bit longer for this, well, at least for the interdisciplinary project, because it is going to take some time to kind of develop it and then to get it started.
Okay.
I could at least provide the team an update in regards to the readmit conference and the processing in regards to her personal issues with Sarah. I can follow up with the team the next time we meet.
And I'll probably have something to share with the team after I talk to her mother tonight.
Okay. So I'll say October 10th at our next meeting, we'll do follow up on those two items, and then we'll
Good.
wait, so it'll be a little bit longer. At least 2 meetings out for our interdisciplinary project.
Okay.
So you guys have a chance to get started on that. Okay, anything else on Adrian before we move to the next student? We hope you found the information about how to successfully implement and conduct an early warning indicators meeting helpful. We invite you to view the other videos in the Talent Development video series.